I'm a vlogger now. Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name's Nicole, and today I'm doing a very different video, something that I don't usually do on my channel. I am doing an unboxing of the new vlogging it camera, the Sony Zv1. I can't believe I've actually got it. I have been filming YouTube videos now for 2 years. I absolutely love it. And for 2 years now, I have been filming all of my content mostly on my iPhone 7 Plus. And you know, it did the job. I obviously didn't want to really spend any kind of money on something that I didn't know anything about, because I didn't really know how my YouTube channel was going to go. I'm not saying that it's blowing up in any form or way. I'm just saying that I do highly enjoy making videos and doing vlogs. The main reason I started my channel was because I just wanted to reminisce, look at my videos of my children and just my motherhood journey in general. And then I found a whole other range of videos of just sit down and just sharing my favourite kind of things to do with motherhood. And after 2 years, I thought it was time to upgrade. I do have a Sony camera. I am currently filming on the Sony RX100, the first ever model. I bought this camera back in 2015-16, and the main reason I haven't really been using this camera because it doesn't have like a screen, so I can't see myself. So my setup has always been this camera, this Sony camera, RX100 on a tripod, and I have a lovely big mirror behind it so that I can see myself, that I'm in focus. And as I mentioned, I usually film on my iPhone 7, which isn't exactly the best thing to do because it just drains your battery, it drains your storage, and the amount of times where I'd be filming, going out for the day, and that horrible little box pops up saying iPhone storage full. So it just wasn't ideal. It's perfectly fine for starting out on, and I am no way implying that anyone needs a huge, fancy, expensive camera, but as this is something that I've actually really grown to love and enjoy doing, I really wanted to get a new camera. So I'll start waffling and get straight into it. I'm going to unwrap it. I'm going to take all of this off. Oh god, I'm trying not to stab myself at the same time. That is so tiny. I think the box for this camera is quite chunky. So here it is, the Sony Zv1. Like I said, I don't do these unboxings on my channel. I've never really had anything like this to unbox before. So I'm so very excited. I'm so happy that I'm finally going to have a camera with a flip-out screen and I can see myself. I went for this camera because actually I was really looking into getting a Canon G7X because that's just the norm, I think, in these vlogging YouTuber channels. As I was like really researching if that was the best camera to get, I didn't want to just assume just because everyone has it. I didn't want to do my research. I came across Justine's channel and she mentioned this one, and I had a look at it and just thought, I think I'd prefer the Canon. And still now, I'm not really the biggest fan of the screen coming out. I really wish it was on top. But I'll get into that in a minute. Next thing I know, on YouTube, obviously, because I clicked that video, so many more suggestions came up on this camera. And the more I just watched and got into this camera, the more I just saw how good it was and how much better it was in a way than the Canon. I am by no means a camera person. I don't know that much about cameras. I have done my research into this one because it's something that I really want, and this one is relatively new. I think it was only released last year. It's got Wi-Fi, so I think it came out in 2020. I'm not sure there, but it has basically become the new like vlogger favourite because it is made for content creators, it's made for YouTubers, so it's not exactly a camera for taking nice photos, even though it's fine for doing that, and the main focus is actually, you know, taking videos. So yeah, this one is just made with content creators in mind, and that's why I went for this one in the end. And I need to stop rambling and just open it and get into this bad boy. Oh my god, that was way more difficult than it should have been. So here we are. There's all the instructions that, let's be honest, I'm probably never ever going to look at. Oh, it's quite heavy. I wasn't expecting it to be that heavy. Wow, okay, yeah, that's quite chunky. Ooh, I'm just so excited. That is such a nice little camera. I'm a vlogger now. Super, super excited for that. Inside is also the wind muff. Is it a wind muff? The windshield, also known as a dead cat. Charger. And a battery, and that is everything in my box. So I've just flipped the view and I'm just gonna have a quick chat about the camera. As I've mentioned, I am not an expert in cameras by any means, and I just wanted to explain some of the features and what drew me to it and things that I'm really excited to use. But yeah, my first impression is that it's heavier than I thought it was. Lots of people said that it was quite light. This is obviously like a plastic frame on the outside, whereas the other Sony camera that I have is metal. So I don't know, I was expecting it to be a lot lighter than it is, but it's still great for fitting in your pocket and in the palm of your hands. As I've mentioned before, my favourite thing is the articulated screen. It's one of the main reasons that I've bought this camera. Obviously, flip out screens are kind of the norm on these vlogging cameras, but as mentioned, this is the one thing that I didn't have. So I'm very, very excited to use that. And it is also touch screen. I'll have a little look at that in a moment when I put the battery in. But yeah, it's really nice that it just turns around either way. Another thing I liked about it was that you don't have to turn it off via the on and off button. If you are filming and you just close the camera like that, it should automatically turn off, which is quite handy, I guess. So I'll just go through the buttons. Of course, there it has the on and off button and this mode button. I'm not entirely sure what that's for yet. As I said, I am a noob. I do not know what I'm doing, but I'm sure I will find out in a moment. This is going to be the zoom and, you know, like a capture button. And then this is the recording button, which is great. It's like a huge chunky button because the one on my current Sony, it's like in this position and it's tiny, and I always think I press it and I don't. So I'm loving that I've got a big button there to get a hold of. And this button here is going to be one of my favourite features of this camera. It's currently called C1 because you can customise these buttons. There's also another one down there, C2, but this button is a defocus button, so I can actually get a blurred background, which oh, I'm so excited about. So basically, my house is always a mess. I am a mother to 2 children, so whenever I sit down to do a video, I can blur out a background. And from doing my research, the blur isn't like overly saturated. It's actually quite a nice subtle blur. I'm gonna have a look at that in a minute and test that. But yeah, I am very, very excited for that feature. Then along here, it has a huge microphone. One of the reasons why the flip screen doesn't flip up like on a Canon, they wanted to make sure that they had a good built-in microphone. For vloggers, if you've got your camera at like an arm's length, it's going to give you good audio. And I've also read that it's also got built-in noise cancellation, which is fantastic news. Then here on this side, this is called a shoe, and Sony call it the multi-shoe. Oh my god, that's really stiff. Let's see if I can get that off. There we go, it just comes off with a slide. So this is where I would add in my dead cat. Isn't that a horrible name? So yeah, I can just slide that in and that is going to be great because I actually love to film lots of outdoor vlogs with my children when we go on days out. I specifically love filming camping vlogs. As I mentioned, this is one of the reasons that I wanted this, was to film our like family adventures. So the amount of times that I filmed camping vlogs and been on like a windy cliff and I've not been able to use that footage because it's been so windy. So I'm very, very excited about that, and it just looks so sleek and professional. But you also don't just have to use this dead cat because it's a multi-port. You can also add on your own external microphone, which is something I'm also going to look into. And then on the side you've got your 3 access ports. So the first one is an external mic port, and then on the second like hub there's a micro USB port for the charger, and I also like to charge up my camera on the go using my battery power bank. And on the last hub there is a HDMI. Not that I know how to use that or have ever kind of used that, but someday I would really like to be able to attach this to a computer at some point. And the other feature that I really love about this camera is that on the exterior it's got a recording light, which is great. Of course they've made this for video makers with them in mind, and it's just a light to say that you're recording. The amount of times I've sat down with this Sony camera that I'm filming on and I thought I pressed the button because I have like huge thumbs and the button's so tiny and it's not been recording, and you know I've got like 15 minutes or even finished a video and realised that it wasn't even turned on. So that is great. Then down here it's got a grip here for like your thumb to go on. It's got the menu, display function, the disc, you know, controlling disc, and your playback button to view your footage and your photos, and a delete button. And as I mentioned earlier, you can customize that button and that button. Now I'm gonna turn it on. Please have some power. Okay. That took me a while. I didn't understand why it wasn't turning on, and then of course I've got the screen the wrong way around. I need to get used to that. Okay, there we go. Let's set it up. So now I've put my date in and it's saying imaging edge. Pretty sure that was supposed to be touchscreen. Doesn't look like it. Ooh, so nice. Oh, look at that focus. That is so great. Look how easily that focuses. That is beautiful. This Sony camera that I'm currently filming on is horrendous for quick focusing. Oh, it's a nightmare. So now here I have my menu, and the Sony menus are just so, oh, there's just so much on there. I'm actually gonna have a look at a YouTube video to set this up. I've got it saved in my like watch later, so I'm not actually gonna set it up here because otherwise that will just take too long. But yeah, so I'm just gonna quickly flick through it all, through the menu, and this is the my menu setting. So here, this is where you customize what buttons you want. So I'm not going to do that just yet. The other feature that I quite liked about this was that you don't always have to use this menu when you're on this mode. You can just click that, the function button, and it's got a mini menu here. And the other feature about the camera is now renowned for is that it's got a soft skin effect, which I am very excited about. As someone who can never be bothered to do makeup, and for that when I get ready, if it's got a skin softening effect, I'm all for that. But yeah, I'm excited to have a play about with that. They've got so many different modes, and now I'm going to put that in the background. That is beautiful. I don't know if you can kind of notice that, but as soon as I put my tracking on that, it just instantly blurs the background. And when if I turn it off, it goes off, and you can see the background again. It's so subtle. That's beautiful. I'm so excited for that. So aside from that, I think that's all the kind of features that I'm really excited to have. But it also, I'm just trying to find it to see if I can see it, but it's got a face priority mode, which is so clever, so that when you're filming outside and you've got the camera on your face, I think it's that. Yeah, there we go. So it's like face eye priority in AF. I'm pretty sure it's that, don't quote me on it. But basically when you're walking outside and you've got your camera on you, basically the exposure on your face stays the same, which is so clever. I am so excited to use this. I have also purchased some screen protectors, so I'm just going to put those on now. Oh, so satisfying. I've got 2 bubbles there. There we go. Yeah, I always add a screen protector to these things, otherwise I will destroy these cameras. And there we have it. I think I'm going to leave it there for my unboxing. I am so super happy with it. I can't wait to go and watch some videos now and set it up. I know that this is a very basic beginner unboxing. Like I said, I'm just not a camera person. I am not a techie unboxing person, but I really just wanted to film like a basic one for people who are quite intimidated by stuff like this, like me. Can't wait to start making vlogs when the world is open again and we can go do camping vlogs and stuff like that. So excited. If you like this video or it helped you in any way, I would love it if you could give this video a thumbs up. As I mentioned, this is not my usual content, but I've enjoyed doing this. Thank you for being here and thank you for watching. Bye!